Hello and welcome everyone to our ABAP on HANA come S4 HANA training course on YouTube with me Amrit. So this will be our fifth lecture of this series, and where we are going to discuss some various concepts of OLAP, OLTP, how we are going to install our ABAP on HANA, how we can access that, what is the difference between Eclipse and HANA Studio and all these things. Okay. So one by one, let's start them and we are going to discuss it one by one. First thing is, what is OLTP? What is OLTP? So OLTP stands for Online Transactional Processing. OLTP stands for Online Transactional Processing. Online Transactional Processing. So suppose we have a ERP system. And on our ERP system, whatever the day-to-day transactions are there, we simply store them in our current ERP database. That approach is known as online transactional processing. Okay, so our day-to-day transactions are stored in our ERP database. Day-to-day transaction, this process is known as online transactional processing. Day-to-day transactional processing, this process is known as online transactional processing. It is mainly used for write approach, to write the data into the system, and it writes very fast. So it is mainly used for write approach to write the data into the system. So OLTP is mainly for write approach. And it writes the data very fast. Then we have OLAP. OLAP stands for Online Analytical Processing. Online Analytical Processing. So in SAP we have a separate BW system. We have a business warehouse, similar to other warehouses that we see in our real life. So there is a business warehouse BW system. BW, it is just like a traditional warehouse which is used for storing the previous data of many years. So our day-to-day transaction data are stored in our current ERP system, which is your online transactional processing, mainly used for write approach, and for analytical processing, that is for read, we are going for BW system. That is what happened. We have BW system where what we do, we store all our previous data, and in this BW system, if we want to perform a analytical part, if we want to perform read operation to or analytical analysis of our data, what we do? Analytical analysis of our data. So we use ETL. Extract, transform and load. We use ETL tools, extract, transform and load. So we extract the data from our BW system, extract, transform and load. We use ETL tools to extract our data, and we simply transform it to our desirable format, as data can be in multiple form in case of ERP. Then we simply load the data into business warehouse system. After that, with the help of multiple online analytical processing tools, we perform the analytical work here, that is read operations over the previous stored data of the organization. This is the clear difference. Day-to-day transaction, online transactional processing, day-to-day transactions are there. But if you talk about OLAP, here what we do is all our previous data that is here in our day-to-day transaction, we simply start storing them by using ETL tools into our business warehouse, and then using various analytical tools we perform the read operation. So this was what earlier we were doing. This was mainly for write operation, and this was mainly for read operation. But what SAP did, very important note, over a period of time, when HANA came, it was earlier read optimized, mainly for analytical purpose. Later on, SAP made it write optimized also. As also. So, and now slowly replacing all the solutions with HANA. So all the ERP solutions, all the relational database systems are getting replaced with HANA. That is what we call ABAP on HANA system. Now, the above being happening, HANA DB can perform everything here. HANA DB can perform both read operation and write operation together. That means we do not need a separate BW system for analytical part. We do not need with HANA into the picture. We do not need a separate BW system for analytical part. We do not need a separate BW system for analytical part. What HANA can do? HANA can do both OLAP and OLTP together. Online analytical processing and online transactional processing. So if your company is using SAP HANA database, then it is enough for performing both transactional, that is write operation, and analytical, that is read operation as well. And you don't need to waste your money to purchase a separate BW system. This is the clear difference between OLAP and OLTP, and now it should be clear that what with HANA, what is the efficiency and what are the benefits that we are going to get. We don't need a separate BW system. We can directly perform all our operations together on the same system within a single system. Okay. Then what are the job roles for ABAP on HANA consultant? What are the job roles for ABAP on HANA consultant? Job roles for ABAP on HANA consultant. Let's check that. Running on a ABAP system. So if we migrate our existing ECC project, some Z ECC project to S4 HANA, will it run or not? This will be a job role that we are expected to do. Then what will happen to custom code? If we migrate it to HANA, migrate to S4 HANA. What is going to happen to our custom code if we are going to migrate it from our existing SAP ECC system to S4 HANA? Okay, this will be some of the job roles for ABAP on HANA consultant. So can we optimize, can optimize existing ABAP code to take best advantage of HANA as DB. Then where and how do we improve performance? Where and how do we improve performance? Okay, what is CDS views and AMDPs? All these things comes under ABAP on HANA consultant. Okay, we already have views here, do we need to, how do we use them in program? All these things comes under ABAP on HANA consultant. Then how can we get new Fiori apps? How can we get new Fiori apps developed which are optimized for HANA? Okay, all of these things comes into the picture of ABAP on HANA consultant. So these are the job roles that we are expected to do if we are migrating. How does my Z code is going to react? What are the changes that we need to perform? And what is the performance efficiency of our ECC and S4 HANA if we compare our ECC system with our S4 HANA system? Okay, then let's move on to next topic, how we are going to connect. So connecting S4 HANA system or server with HANA DB. How it is getting connected? Very, very important. Connecting S4 HANA with DB. So to connect our SAP HANA server and HANA database, to connect our S4 HANA server, and HANA database, we require a special kind of tool which is known as Eclipse. Eclipse is an open source tool. It is a special tool. It was open source already there. So free open source tool which is used to connect S4 HANA server and HANA database. Eclipse is a free open source tool. Guys, Eclipse was originally built by Java for Java development, mainly used for Java development, but they made it open source. So what SAP did, they started to use it. They saw in the market that Eclipse is being used by most of the developers for development purpose, and since it was very popular in the market, still it is very popular in the market, so they used it for connecting S4 HANA server with HANA DB. So Eclipse is a free, if I have to define, free open source tool which is used to connect S4 HANA server and HANA database. S4 HANA server and HANA database. Okay, but is it really easy? No, because HANA it is a property of SAP system. S4 HANA server is something else. How this Eclipse is going to act as a bridge? So Eclipse by default do not recognize the SAP servers. So we need some plugins. plugins needed for Eclipse to recognize SAP server. Some plugins we need if we want to recognize the SAP server. Here Eclipse by default do not recognize the SAP server. Eclipse by default do not recognize the SAP server. To make this Eclipse recognize the SAP server, what they did, they developed SAP developed plugins, and we need to install them. Okay, their plugins are, one is ADT, ABAP development tools. We need ABAP development tools in our Eclipse to recognize SAP server, and we need HANA tools. To recognize SAP server. Okay. Now once these two plugins are there, we can connect our Eclipse. Connect our Eclipse to HANA database, as well as we can connect with our ABAP application S4 HANA system also. So now what you see, if this is ABAP application S4 HANA system, we can connect with Eclipse directly. So Eclipse with ADT, HANA tools, and it can also connected with HANA DB. It can also be connected with the HANA database. So here we have S4 HANA system, and in between we have Eclipse having ADT and HANA tools. If we are going to add our ADT and HANA tools in the Eclipse, we will be able to connect our S4 HANA system with Eclipse and also our HANA DB. So now with these two plugins are there, we can connect our Eclipse system to HANA database, as well as we can connect with our ABAP application S4 HANA system. Okay. But there was a problem. This is an open source tool. SAP is not open source, right? SAP is not open source, and if they want to make some product very efficient, so what they did, they launched their own product. They named it HANA Studio. They launched their own product and they named it HANA Studio. So what is HANA Studio? In 2015, SAP launched HANA, and they came up with an idea that let's use Eclipse tool and plugins to develop our own tool for connecting with HANA DB and S4 HANA server. So since Eclipse is free, you can directly install in your local system and you will be able to use it. But what they did here, SAP thought that we cannot use it as our profit, so they launched their own platform, HANA Studio. In 2015, they developed their own tool. As Eclipse was an open source free to use tool, so they used Eclipse and combined it with plugins and came with a new tool, and they named it HANA Studio. So HANA Studio is nothing but Studio is equal to Eclipse plus ABAP development tools. HANA Studio is nothing but Eclipse plus ABAP development tools and all these things, and they named it HANA Studio. You cannot directly install HANA Studio. You will require a ACE user ID, and you can go then download from HANA on demand, but from SAP system, SAP platform. But Eclipse is free. If you want to use it, you can directly install it in your local PC, and then you will need this ABAP development tools. Which you will be using for combination. Then you will be able to connect with ABAP application system and also our HANA system. Okay, so let's see the setup. HANA Studio, if you want to use it, contact your basis team for HANA Studio details. Contact your basis team for HANA Studio details. Okay, pretty simple. Now if I have to use Eclipse instead of HANA Studio, how I can do that? So let's see the setup for Eclipse and ADT. There are certain setups, we must follow that. First, Java should be installed in your local machine. This is prerequisite. Local machine. If Java is not there, please go and install it. Second is, if you want to check how, you can go to command. If you want to check, you can go to command, and here you can check your Java version. See, 1.8 is there in my system. So Java should be installed in your local machine. You can check it. Then install WinRAR for file. Install WinRAR. Okay. Then third important is, we need, if you are using Windows, then Microsoft Visual Studio redistribution must be there for communication with backend system. So we must need it. We must need this thing. Okay. So just go to HANA on demand website. HANA on demand. Just go there. SAP development tools, and go to the ABAP. You will see here, what do we need? We need this Microsoft VC++ runtime, which is mandatory. Just click on at that and download it. Before that, we need Java. So download Java. Okay, latest version is 21. We can see it. Just download it. Then you can go for Eclipse download. So you can directly click on it and you can download the Eclipse version. Just download it. Okay, just download it, and then using WinRAR or 7Z extractor, you can extract your Eclipse. You can simply extract your Eclipse. If you want to, just go there on the home, and there you will find, after the installation of Eclipse, you will find this link, latest one. See, you will find this link. This link you can use for adding your ADT tools. So just copy this link and simply open your Eclipse. Open your Eclipse. I will just show a demo here. Yeah. So window perspective, not window, help. Yeah, install new softwares, and please enter here and go for add. So by default, when you are going for it, these things will come. It will load all these tools, select them, go for next, and select all, and then finish it. By default, all these systems will be installed, and then when you will go for Windows perspective, open perspective, there you will find the ABAP and SAP HANA development and all these things. Okay, So we need to add these tools, these plugins. Once these plugins are added, it will become really easy for us. It will become really easy for us. Really easy for us. This is the setup and installation part of Eclipse. If you are still facing the issue, kindly contact your basis or administration team for the help. Okay, so with this, all the intro part is done. So now let's create our first ABAP program in HANA Studio. Okay, let's create our first ABAP program in HANA Studio. So creating first ABAP program in HANA Studio. Let's create that and see how we are going to do. So what you will do, just open your SAP system, go for window, perspective, open perspective, other, go for ABAP. This is your ABAP system. Okay, go for that, login. If the project is not added, kindly add the project. Okay, file, you can go for new, here new ABAP project, and you can add your project from here. I have already added my system, and here you will find in the system library, just open that. See, all the packages are here. All the package of your S which you see in SE10, all the packages are here. Even the Z packages are also here. My package is also here. I will simply add it as I believe it is already added. Let me check. I will add it as a favorite so that I can use that. Yes, I have already added that. So this is my package. Right click on it, new, other, ABAP program. So search for ABAP. Wait, cancel, new, other, ABAP. Okay, let's go and check it. Yeah, ABAP program. Next, I will give a name, Z first ABAP program, ABAP program 01, first ABAP program on HANA Studio, Okay, go for next. It is already there. Okay, let's change it to the second. Next, this one is also there, so third. Next, select your transport request and finish it. Same to same. This is connected with our ABAP system. This is connected with our ABAP server. So if you are going to execute it, you are going to get the same to same output. You are going to simply get the same to same output here also, right? So let's say I'm declaring a variable LVVBELN for sales document number, type VBELN underscore VA, and I'm simply going to select my VBELN. First I need to check the value in my SAP system, so let's check that. Login, SC11 VBAC table, yeah, I need this value, just copy it out. So select single VBELN, right, from my VBAC table into my variable name LVVBELN, where VBELN is equal to this value. Okay, and I'm simply displaying it. So write statement LVVBELN. Now just right click on it, activate it, and right click on it, go for run as ABAP application and check the output. Yes, we are getting it. Output, we are getting it. So this is your first ABAP program on HANA Studio. What is actually happening? This is my Eclipse. This is my Eclipse system, HANA Studio system. Because of the ABAP development tools, it is connected with HANA DB also, and it is connected with our ABAP application server also. So we can write all the programs. We can perform everything directly on HANA Studio, and we don't need to load all our data from our database to our application layer anymore. We can directly perform everything from this tool, which is Eclipse or HANA Studio. So this is all about today's video. Thank you very much for watching the video. We'll meet again